Welcome back to M2O TV, everybody. I'm so excited to have you here today with us because once you finish this video, you are going to want to look at every product under your roof. I'm here today with Lindsey. She is a Chicago-based mom. She is a wellness expert, and she is also the founder of Green Life Swaps. And I'm gonna read this exactly because I love it. It is an in-home wellness service that helps families create healthier and more sustainable homes, one swap at a time. Lindsey, so excited to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is great. I can't wait to tell you everything I do.
Before we get started into the specifics of your business, I just kind of want to know what was your journey to get you to creating this business?
I mean, the journey starts with it didn't exist. When I started my journey over 15 years ago, it didn't exist. And I wish it had. I was about to, try to conceive with my husband, and I wanted to make sure that my home and my body and, everything was in line. And so I started looking at things, and it just drove me to dig deeper. I was like, we're gonna clean up everything. We're gonna get off all our prescriptions. I'm gonna clean to the best of my ability, like the information I knew then, right? And that was my clean swap at the time, but that's all that I knew. And fortunately, we got pregnant right away. And so I attributed that to really cleaning up everything, looking at, the air, the water, what we put in our body and what we put on our body. You're making another human being. You want it to be as sacred and as clean as possible. We wouldn't have gotten here without the basics. And so while things are more convenient, you still pay a price for that convenience somewhere, It is a lot of information. And then there's the part that once you learn the information, the products are always changing. I happen to really enjoy it, something I take pride in for me and my family and for my husband and our friends. So I wanted to, once my kids were a little bit older, kind of branch out and help other families because it is a lot of work.
Having your family and then being able to help other families, it's a really beautiful journey.
I love to help people. I really do. I think that's what, sparked it to push it to the next level, is really just wanting to help people do the next best thing.
I love it. So you do have a lot of services in your business, which I think is great. You have a home detox, a product swap, one-on-one clean living consultations, sustainable shopping guides, and even virtual services. So how do you decide which service is best for which client?
So usually when we do an intake, I'll kind of see where the client is. Are you brand new to this journey? Are you started this journey but you're stuck? Maybe it's just, a couple products here and there that you think or that we think together would make the biggest impact. So because I don't want it to feel overwhelming, I give as many options as possible, because even if it's just one room, it's a start in the right direction to detoxify your home, and that's important to me. So I really meet my clients where they are and try to understand what will work best for them. And then we kind of pick one or two or just, get started. I've had clients just say, tell me everything I need to buy, I'll buy it on my own. I've had other clients say, no, come into my home, remove my Tide from my laundry room and replace it with something else. And then I have kind of the combo of that, I can get the bigger stuff, but the more minute things that I don't know, I want you to come in and swap out. So for me personally, I like to actually come in and remove the old product because we are in that loop, right? Oops, I forgot I brought the clean swap. Here comes the Tide again. That makes it feel like a full circle job is done. I know then I have to leave it up to you. I trust you, but I want you to make the swap.
Yeah.
And so that's what I encourage clients to do.
I was just thinking about in the organizing process, when we have donations, it's always been a part of our business to remove the donations at the end, because there is that tendency to be like, what's in there? What can I pull out? And if it's just removed, it kind of removes that decision or that next task that they have to do. Many people underneath their sink, they might have this plethora. If you just have that one magic product, that has a short ingredient list on the back of things that you can actually read and understand, that's going to be the biggest game changer for them.
I think a lot of people, most people, especially my age, of the young families, they're just so conditioned to have always bought whatever their family bought. And that's finally starting to change because there's more products out there, which I think is great, right? Because you want that cleaner, that better swap for your family. This is a cumulative problem. And so if you take one out and you put a swap in, that's the best way to do it. Sometimes they come back and they're like, I don't like this one. So we give them another one. I want them to find something that they will commit to for the long haul.
We see all kinds of spaces at Mission to Organize, and I'm sure you do too, going into people's homes. So do you find that when you're doing like a home detox, it's like easier to make that transition if it's a more organized home?
Well, yeah, I agree. I think that homes that are more organized or simple or just have less are easier. I do walk into most homes that need you and me
All
together.
right, here's our business card.
You don't need 15 products underneath your sink. How about 2? Which makes it easier for you guys and it's easier for them because now you're not buying 15 products, you're buying 2.
And you're kind of also facilitating the decluttering process for them, right? Because you're pulling out their 5 tubes of lipstick and giving them 1.
Yeah. I try to help where I can. I'm certainly not down there reorganizing, but there is that sense of minimalistic that they don't have as much down there.
The topic of our month that the reason that we came to you is we're talking about environmentally sound, like green cleaning tips. So what do you see typically inside of, people's like laundry room, bathroom, or underneath their sink where they're keeping their cleaning products specifically? Sure. What do you see that is like most challenging for you?
Just the sheer number of products, right? We could simplify this to under 5 products in almost every space. Yeah. Now I get it, people like to try new things, especially like in the hair and the skin and makeup, but the number of products. And then you want to look at the ingredients in these products. They're connected to all kinds of hormone issues, skin issues, respiratory issues. And I think what people think is like, oh, it's tucked under the sink, it's not affecting me. But the VOCs are constantly releasing. You're actually supposed to keep all of your cleaning supplies outside and only bring them in when you're going to clean. Because even a perfume sitting on your nightstand or in your closet or something, it has chemicals that are being released in the air when you're not actively spraying it.
And some of the things say, after you use it, wash your hands.
Yes.
But you just spread it all over your house.
It's been years since I've seen a warning like that, but I know that they exist. And yeah, I can't tell you how many dogs are sick or have like, fatty tumor cells or whatever. And it's because of whatever people are wiping, putting on their floors. And then their little feet, or if you have children, their little hands are they're touching all of that. So it is really important, especially if you have animals and small children that are crawling, or I guess big kids that are bouncing off your couches too, to really control what you can control. If you have these health elements, they could be coming from XYZ in your home.
Right.
And they don't even think about it because that's not the message that doctors are giving, right? Doctors are doing a very different thing. The other thing is the lack of understanding. Like I said, people are like, oh, well, I'm fine. I ate X when I was young, or I used Windex all my life and I'm fine. And I wouldn't really say that we're fine. We're fatter, sicker, and poorer as a, country. And I don't think that's better.
Well, and to your point, when you have some kind of ailment and you go to the doctor, it could be a million different things, to be honest. Like you can't pinpoint it. So why not just remove that option?
Yeah. Less is more. Less is more.
And I just want to say, I can tell, from us talking that you're really doing this from a place of like love. Is there anything in particular that you can see as like a real easy swap for most people that you typically would start with?
I think that the least expensive and a really big impact is the laundry room. So like your detergent. And then there's 2 options there. You can go to one of the cleaner, organic, non-toxic detergents, or you can just do a DIY. with a borax or a baking soda. I mean, it's gonna take some time to get used to, but that's a big impact because your clothes are sitting in these chemicals and these fragrances, you're washing them and they're on your body all day. And you're sleeping on them because you're washing your sheets in them.
True.
And so I think that for any client that wants to get started, or even just people that are listening, I think that's the number one place you start is in your laundry room. And it's also about balance. Listen, no one's perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. If you make some big changes, you can keep the perfume. You can keep your favorite Chanel bronzer that makes you happy, that may not be as clean.
Is there any like one thing that you see, like an ingredient on the label that people can just like immediately be like, no?
For skin, I would say polysorbate 20, absolutely not. Titanium dioxide has been one of those ones that have been kind of like a fluoride. People have different takes on it. I won't use anything with titanium dioxide. And then fragrance. You don't want any phthalates. Now, if those fragrances are coming from essential oils or phthalate-free fragrances, you don't want a synthetic, then that's okay. You can still enjoy a little bit of fragrance. Anything that has like an ammonia or a bleach, those are super dangerous for people who have respiratory issues and they don't even realize it because it's on the shelf. It must be safe. For your food, I wouldn't touch anything with dyes. So, your red 40, your blue, your yellow, anything that says natural flavors. And I think the most important thing is really just to try to pick whole single food ingredients. And so sometimes you see products that are in your cleaning products that are also in your toothpaste. And you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem
It doesn't seem right.
I feel like, that's not something that, I certainly want to ingest, but there it is. It just depends how many products the person is using. I would like it all to go. But again, it's really meeting them where they feel comfortable, where they don't feel overwhelmed or judged or like this is too much for me. So it's kind of like, you might start organizing my kitchen and then I'm like, oh, could you do my closet? We just kind of go around the house. I've had one client that came in and was like, I want to do the whole house. And it's time consuming, right? I have to go into their house and look at every single item in their house. We have thousands of items.
You don't think about it, but it's true.
Oh my God. Every drawer is filled with stuff. From an organizer standpoint, what gets shoved in the drawers, people don't even know half the stuff that's in there. And that's why it's like, yes, I'm going to take it out and we're swapping 5 for 2. Get rid of the rest of that.
And I like that you mentioned a no judgment zone because that is something that at Mission to Organize is deeply ingrained into who we are as organizers.
Yes. I think when people are asking for help, they're already a little bit vulnerable. And I see it all the time. Oh, so sorry. And it's like, you don't have to be sorry. This is your home. It's a beautiful home that you've created. Let's make it even better. So I tell them all the time, I'm still on my journey, and so sometimes I'll share where I am with things that I'm learning. But I don't want anyone to feel bad. I'm your friend now. I'm here as your girlfriend to just help you out and make changes together.
Okay, so anyone who is listening out there and is like, I want to get started with Green Life swaps, how would they go about doing that?
Website that introduces myself and goes through the different services. It's greenlifeswaps.com. And then the same for Instagram. I feel like most people are on Instagram, so that's where I get the most amount of messages.
Right.
There is an online form that gets sent to me and just says that you're inquiring about the business. And then once they reach out, I actually send them kind of like an intake so that I can see where they are, so that we can schedule a call and then get started. And if people want me to come in and do an in-home consultation, there's a fee, but it's an option if we want to go through, personally, or I can do it virtually.
I think it would be interesting for people who are not in the Chicagoland area to understand how they can benefit from your advice.
A Zoom call where we're going through things, maybe you're walking me through your home, or you say to me, hey, I need help in my kitchen. And I go to the big ticket items first, and I say, what products are you currently using? And then I would put together a list of items that you should replace. Obviously, I can't be there to do it for you in person, so I'm really gonna trust that you're gonna do it because you want it. But it's easy to do over virtual too.
So, Lindsey, a lot of people like to DIY their cleaning products.
Yeah.
So, do you have any tips? I see you have this wonderful jar in your hand. I'm guessing this is a concoction that you.
I do. This is a mason jar that has an attachment that can now spray on all surfaces. And this is for my Christmas tree. So we took the pine needles, we put them in there. I put vinegar. I let them sit for about a week. I remove the pine, and now this is your natural pine sol. It has a pine flavor. It's safe on all surfaces. There's no chemicals, it's just vinegar. I mean, most people know that vinegar is a great cleaning agent along with baking soda. I mean, you can really simplify. It doesn't have to cost a lot, but how much is your time worth, right? You're making these products, which is, this one's pretty simple, but if you're the DIYer, they're gonna take a little bit more time versus just, grabbing something off the shelf. Yeah, but there are a lot of DIY options out there. If that's what my client wants, I'm happy to find them. They're not usually what I'm using every single day, but I'm composting things. I'm making things when I can. I'm trying to upcycle. We save all of our jars. We shop at a regenerative farm, and so whenever we get products in glass, we're keeping those glass. Also, pro tip, should we ever lose water, you always want to have some jugs of water. Because if you don't have power and you really don't have any access to water, you're in trouble. I would love to connect with you. I'm so happy for the opportunity to sit down and get the word out for people to understand, because they think like in-home wellness, like, why do I need this? What is it really? And so, it's always great to be able to talk to a larger audience to explain exactly what it is that I do. And that it's any area, in the home. So if there's something, I'd love someone to stump me like, hey, I need help with this. I'm your research person. I think that this is why Green Life Swaps is a great option for families to really learn. I have a lot of that information on my Instagram, kind of like cheat sheets to go to the grocery store.
Check out our Instagram. Touch base with all of us here at Mission to Organize. You can find us obviously right here on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, we're on TikTok. We have a new blog and newsletter that come out every single month with a brand new topic. In 16 years, we have only repeated 2
That's amazing.
topics.
That's awesome. Which 2? They are the ones that need
It
to
was
repeat?
jewelry and shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are important.
Right. So there's always something new to learn here at Mission to Organize. Lindsey, thank you so much for sharing your insights, and join us next time right here on M2O TV.
Here at Mission to Organize, we're not just known for our award-winning YouTube channel. You can also check us out on our other social media platforms for all of the tips and tricks. For everything from home organizing to move management, Team M2O has your back. We'll see you next time on M2O TV.
Outtake. And he said, hire my mom from Green Life Swaps.
You were so nice and quiet for the whole day.
And he said, and now it's time for me to. They're so vocal.
Oh my gosh.